join us here today at the Landmark Hotel. And thank you all for attending for the second leg of our Canelo Alvarez versus Liam Smith, who was actually the champion, should be the other way around, International Press Tour. On September the 17th, Liam Beefy Smith will travel over to Texas to make the third defence of his WBO Super Welterweight Championship at the breathtaking A&T Stadium against the biggest name in boxing, Canelo Alvarez. A&T Stadium, home of the Dallas Cowboys, will give a big Texas welcome to the two-division world champion Alvarez, who's 47-1-1, 33 KOs, and the WBO champion Liam Beefy Smith, 23-0-1, and he's got 13 KOs, as he hosts the third ever boxing match. Tickets for Canelo v Smith will go on sale Thursday the 21st of July. To charge by phone with a major credit card called Ticketmaster at 800-745-3000. Tickets will also be available for a purchase online at www.ticketmaster.com. Additionally, walk-up purchases are available at the AT&T Stadium box office. Canelo v Smith, a 12-round fight for the WBO Super Welterweight Championship, is promoted by Golden Boys Promotions in association with Frank Warren and Canelo Promotions. The biggest fight of the year will take place on Saturday, September the 17th, and will be produced and distributed live by HBO pay-per-view in the US and exclusively live on BoxNation in the UK. Now I'd like to hand over to the Chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions and my friend, Mr. Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much, Frank. It really is a pleasure to be here once again. I am very pleased to be here in England to promote this fight. I love coming to the UK because this country takes boxing serious. The fans here love the sport, and the UK is churning out some serious talent in boxing recently, with more current world champions than Mexico. I believe it's 14 world champions, where Mexico has 7 world champions. So not only is this fight for a world title, but it's also for pride and honor. That points to a showdown in the ring on September 17th between Canelo Alvarez and Liam Smith, because like I said, this is not only a fight for the world title, but both fighters will go inside the ring fighting for their countries. We strongly feel that putting this fight together with the best promoter here in the UK, Frank Warren, you will have an A-class event. We are extremely proud to be televising this event live on HBO pay-per-view, live from the AT&T Arena in Dallas. We want to thank once again our partners in the US. We want to thank Frank Warren and BoxNation. Thank you very much for promoting this event with us. We strongly feel this will be the event of the year, not only because of Canelo Alvarez, who is the biggest star right now in the sport today. He is not only the pay-per-view attraction, not only is he the fighter who sells and out arenas. Not only does he fill in arenas at 40,000, 50,000 people, but because he's fighting a world champion who is dangerous, a world champion who is out here to travel to the US and bring back the title. Liam Smith is a fighter who is not going to the US to fold. He's a fighter who is serious, a fighter who is much bigger than Canelo, a fighter who is undefeated, and a fighter who is world champion. So obviously Team Canelo knows how important this fight is, knows how dangerous this fight is, and therefore they are taking it very serious. I would like to also thank our sponsors, our premier sponsor, who is Cerveza Tecate, Born Bold, and Casa Mexico Tequila. We want to thank you for all your continued support. Come fight week on September 17th, we will have various activities. As you know, this fight is being staged around the Mexican Independence Weekend. It is a huge deal in the U.S. For all Mexican Americans. I believe now the population there in the U.S. is about 50 million people, so this fight here, the fact that it's surrounded by the whole Mexican Independence Weekend, I can assure you that millions and millions and millions of fans and not only live but watching on pay-per-view will be able to witness a historical event with Canelo Alvarez and Liam Smith. So that takes me to Team Alvarez. I would like to introduce to you the man behind the scenes, the head trainer of Canelo Alvarez, who has been doing a wonderful, wonderful job. Canelo Alvarez has been looking sensational in every single fight. He's been learning, he's been growing. At the tender age of 26, which he just turned yesterday, Canelo Alvarez has been climbing the ladder with experience and becoming a better fighter because of this man. So now I would like to introduce to you the head trainer of Canelo Alvarez, that is Eddie Reynoso. Eddie.
Buenas tardes.
Good day to everyone.
Antes que nada, agradecer aquí la hospitalidad del señor Warren, uno de los mejores promotores en Inglaterra.
First of all, we want to thank for the hospitality Mr. Warren. He by far is the best promoter in the UK.
A todo el equipo de Liam Smith.
The entire team of Liam Smith, thank you.
Y pues sí, tenemos una pelea complicada el 17 de septiembre.
We have a complicated fight September 17th.
Un peleador fuerte,
a very strong fighter.
Joven, que siempre está en la pelea con muy buenas combinaciones.
He's very young, very strong, throws many combinations.
Que aguanta golpes y sobre todo que ha obtenido pegada en las últimas peleas, ya que las últimas 8 peleas las ha ganado por nocaut.
And he's got a very good chin. And not only a good chin, but you know, he also has some power. He's coming off 8 straight wins by knockout.
Es un campeón del mundo y merece todo nuestro respeto.
He's a world champion and he deserves our respect.
Para hacer una gran preparación y tomar las cosas como siempre con mucha seriedad y disciplina.
So we will have a great preparation for this fight and take it very serious and very disciplined.
Y pues los esperamos allá el 17 de septiembre en Dallas, Texas.
We'll be hoping you come join us in Dallas, Texas.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. At this moment, I would also like to introduce to you from Team Canelo is the manager and trainer as well of Canelo Alvarez. His name is José Chepo Reynoso.
¿Qué tal? Muy buenos días.
Good day to everyone.
Qué gusto verlos y agradecerles su presencia a esta conferencia.
Very happy to be here and to thank you all for attending this press conference.
Y contentos de estar nuevamente en su tierra, una tierra hermosísima que yo recuerdo desde cuando peleó Howard Winston contra Vicente Saldívar.
And very happy to be here in this beautiful country of yours. It's a beautiful country. It's always a good feeling to come here to England. And I remember coming way back to see Howard Winston against Vicente Saldívar.
Grandes combates.
Great battles.
Bueno, hoy nuevamente estamos aquí.
We're here once again
para anunciarles una gran pelea.
To announce a great fight.
Entre el campeón Liam Smith, gran peleador.
Between the world champion Liam Smith, a great fighter.
Y otro gran peleador como es el Canelo.
And a great fighter in Canelo as well.
Okay. Pues una gran pelea sin duda entre dos grandes.
It's going to be a great fight between two big fighters.
Entre un campeón que quiere defender su título.
We have on one side a champion that wants to defend his title.
Con todo porque sabe que ir a América, a conquistar América y ganarle al Canelo lo pondría en la cima del boxeo mundial.
And obviously we know that he understands that he wants to go to the United States, to America, to defend this title because beating Canelo would signify that he'll be on top of the world.
Eso lo hace todavía más peligroso, aparte de su pegada, aparte de su invicto, aparte de su título. Eso lo hace más peligroso, el hambre que tiene de ser el de los grandes.
And despite his good chin, his power and all that, knowing that he could be the best, the top guy, the eagerness for this fight makes him even more dangerous for this fight.
Por eso nosotros nos vamos a preparar como nunca para que eso no suceda.
That's why we're going to prepare like never before so that that won't happen.
Y bueno, invitarlos el 17 de septiembre,
And invite all of you, September 17th,
que va a ser una gran pelea y ustedes la van a disfrutar mucho. Gracias.
to witness a great fight, and you guys are going to enjoy it very much. Thank you very much.
Gracias, Chepo. To all the UK fans, if you've never flown overseas to witness a live boxing event on Mexican Independence Weekend, this is one that you want to make the efforts to attend. Not only are we staging this event on a state-of-the-art, probably the most significant arena in the world today, which is the AT&T Stadium with Jerry Jones. That place is impressive. It holds about 100,000 people. We expect tons and tons of Liam Smith fans here from the UK to fly over and support him. We're obviously expecting tons of Canelo Alvarez fans, but most importantly, we expect a sellout. This is going to be a fun weekend. It's going to be a serious weekend, but most importantly, the people who are going to win here, the people who are going to be satisfied here are the fans. These fighters are here to give you a great show. They have tremendous records, great pride, and therefore putting all that combination together with the arena, the fighters, the world title, it's sure to be an extravagant weekend. Next up, I would like to introduce to you a fighter who needs no introduction at this point. He has taken the world by storm at the tender age of 26, which he just turned July 18th. He has amassed an incredible fan base. He has amassed an incredible resume, fighting the likes of Austin Trout, fighting the likes of Erislandy Lara, coming off a tremendous knockout victory of Amir Khan, and going up against Angulo and fighting Mayweather at the age of 21. This fighter here is a fighter who's getting better, who's getting stronger, who's getting faster, who's learning every single day and amassing a tremendous arsenal to prepare for fighters like Liam Smith. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you a fighter who hails out of Guadalajara, Mexico. He has a record of 47-1 with 33 knockouts. They call him Canelo, and that is Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Bueno, primero que nada quiero agradecer a todos. Gracias por el recibimiento que me dan siempre.
First of all, I want to thank all of you for allowing me to be here and for the great treatment as always.
Estoy muy contento de estar nuevamente aquí en su tierra.
I'm very happy to be once again here in England.
Bueno, no queda más que decir. Liam Smith es un gran peleador, es campeón mundial, con hambre de triunfo, entonces sabemos lo que tenemos enfrente, estamos conscientes.
What can I say? Liam Smith is a great champion. He's a fighter that's very strong, a fighter that's very hungry for victory. We know what we have in front of us.
Nos vamos a preparar a conciencia, vamos a entrenar como siempre para darles una gran pelea y como siempre que la gente salga ganando.
And we're going to prepare like never before. We're going to be ready for this, knowing what we know about Liam Smith. And I can assure you this, we're going to give the fans what they want to see.
Los esperamos el 17 de septiembre. Muchas gracias.
Hope you can join us September 17th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Gracias, Canelo. Just want to point out that it really is a pleasure to be working with Frank Warren. He has a wonderful history of being the top promoter here in the UK, and we at Golden Boy Promotions promote the premier fighter on the planet today, which is Canelo Alvarez, and Frank Warren is a fighter, a promoter who can deliver the big events, the biggest events in boxing today. In boxing today, the biggest events is the pay-per-view stage, and there is no other promoter today in the U.S. that can deliver the biggest events with Canelo Alvarez, and there's no other big promoter out here in the UK that can deliver for his fighters the biggest stage, and that is pay-per-view, except Frank Warren. So it really is a pleasure to be working with a gentleman who has been doing a lot for the sport here in the UK, who is the best promoter in the UK. So on that note, I would like to turn it over to Frank Warren.
Thank you, Oscar. There are other people who do pay-per-view events, but I won't be going into that. Anyway, that's very kind of you. I'm going to introduce my partner here, Bill Ives, Raymond Steele. He's been with me from the outset of the journey with BoxNation. We worked very hard together to get BoxNation to where it is, and they're obviously broadcasting the fight on the 17th of September, and we got some further announcements to that, which I think is going to be quite of interest to quite a few people. And as I say, Bill's, besides being a fabulous and a great supporter of boxing, he's an extremely successful businessman in his own right in the steel business. I'd like to introduce to my far left Matthew Macklin, who's the manager of Liam himself. No stranger to fighting for world titles and fighting at top level. He's done a fantastic job since being involved with Liam, and I'm sure he's got a few things to say.
Yeah, thanks, Frank. Obviously, both guys, Canelo and Liam, are fighting for Liam's world title, but I want to thank Canelo and his team for the opportunity, because since winning the title, Liam, it's been a little bit frustrating for him the last year or so. You know, not for the want of trying on Frank's behalf, and certainly not on a lack of willingness on Liam's behalf to fight the best, but for whatever reason, he's been able to land, a really big fight. But some patience is a virtue, and his patience has paid off for him now, and he's got this fight with Canelo, who's the biggest name in world boxing, the biggest star there is, and so for that, fair play to Liam for staying patient. He's now been rewarded. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think the stars are going to really mesh. I know Liam won't be overawed by the stature of Canelo. It's a fight he's been crying out for. He hasn't fought anywhere near the resume of fighters that Canelo has, but you can't make the step up until you make the step up, and he's ready for it. He's sparred a lot of great kids. He's not as known into the wider boxing public, but to the real hardcore, he's known. He's sparred in all the gyms in America, and they all rave about him. And I know he's really going to rise to the occasion. Yeah, I don't know why we're talking. I'm going to keep it short, but I've known Liam a long time, and he's just got better and better. The last sort of 12 months, he's really gone from strength to strength. They say when you win a world title, you improve overnight, and that seems to be the case. Even watching him in the gym, and Joe telling me how he's improving, getting on with sparring, and I think come September the 17th, the fans are in for a real treat. And as a boxing fan myself, I can't wait for it.
Thanks, mate. I'd like to introduce a man of few words, Joe Gallagher, Ring Magazine Trainer of the Year 2015, and the trainer obviously of Liam Smith. He's done a fantastic job with Liam, and I know that he he knows in his heart that he's got the key to what he needs to do, what Liam needs to do to win this fight. So, go ahead.
Cheers, Frank. Thank you. First of all, I want to give a huge warm welcome to Saul Alvarez. Ede, Chepo, and everybody from Golden Boy. Great to see you, and it's good that we managed to bring some of that Dallas weather back over with us. Like you say, it's scorching. No, after being over there in Dallas and seeing the stadium, and then seeing the price of the tickets to this fight, it's just, you know, everybody knows about the Ricky Hatton fans from the UK, from Manchester. They've been privileged. Liverpool now has a chance to go out there and support their own in Liam Smith. And I know, and I'm glad of this press conference, to be fair, because Liam Smith's phone has not stopped going for people for tickets, and I know they'd like to support their own, and I know they will go out and do him proud over there. The fight itself, huge opportunity for Liam Smith. He's world champion, but a lot of people don't seem to give him the credit that he deserves. He's one of the best world champions out of the 13, 14 the UK have at the moment, and he'll prove that when he fights SAUL Alvarez on September the 17th. SAUL Alvarez, a very, very, very good fighter. If you look at the record, who he's fought, who he's been in with your Mayweathers, your Cottos, some people have seemed a little bit daunted, intimidated, but over there in Dallas, Liam Smith wasn't like that. He was there on the stage, and you could see it rising in him, his chest puffing out, feeling to himself, I've arrived here, this is what it's all about, this is the moment, and this is the timing. I do feel SAUL Alvarez, Golden Boy, have made a huge mistake here. I feel they should have took the Triple G fight and got paid well, because losing to Liam Smith, I think it'll be harder to take than losing to Triple G. I think Liam Smith is going to prepare very well for this fight. I know SAUL Alvarez, and the way that they're talking, I'm pleased to hear they're taking the threat of Liam Smith very serious, and I think this is going to be a great fight. Both good punchers, both good body punchers, and neither man will want to back down. I think SAUL Alvarez and his team, and most will be looking at Liam Smith and feel like wetting the lips and thinking, wow, this is our type of fight this. We've got a guy here that's got to come and meet us head on and exchange blows, and that's what type of fight it's going to be. The best man will win, and the loser will go back to Mexico. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Told you he was a man of few words. Right, to my left we've got the WBO junior middleweight champion of the world, Liam Beefy Smith. He's won his last 8 fights by knockout. He's knocked everybody out since 2013. When we were offered this fight, I jumped at it. I really did feel that it's Liam's time, and people say, oh, he just get, you know, it's just he's going there to the other guy's backyard, and in betting odds, he's a big underdog. But the facts of the matter are, I know that Liam can fight. I've always said from day one, and I think one thing Joe and I will agree on, and I've always said, I think he's one of the best young fighters to come out of Liverpool, and he's done everything that's been asked of him. And people talk about underdogs, and I can think back over the years, a couple of fights I've been, or a few fights I've been involved with, where our guys have gone in and on paper have had no chance, according to bookmakers and according to so-called experts. I can think of Jeff Lacey, who was going to be was the big star, and what Joe Calzaghe did with him. And Joe Calzaghe, when he fought Hopkins, he's a director, isn't he, of Golden Boy? You know, he was a big underdog out there, and he beat Hopkins and beat him well. And, you know, Hopkins went on to win other titles after that. Big one was Ricky Hatton and Costa Tszyu. You know, no one gave Ricky a chance against Costa Tszyu, and he done the business. Even Frank Bruno and Oliver McCall, when I made that fight, Bruno was a huge underdog. But you know what? I think this guy's got more chance than most of them had. He can fight. He can fight. You know, they call him the Scouse Mexican, and I think that's where we're going to see a real good style here of fighting. He fights like a Mexican. This gentleman to my right is a very well-respected fighter, and I'm a big fan. Obviously, he's a true Mexican, but I think that what he brings to the table is going to create fireworks. We're going to see something special on the 17th, and he's going to come back with the title. He's going to shock everybody in Dallas. Be prepared for a real big shock on the 17th of September. We're going to see something special. Anyway, he's to my left. I know he's got a few things to say, including how tall am I compared with him? Everyone thinks he's a small guy. When you see him face up and look at each other, he's got a lot going for him there in the height department. So it's Liam, WBO junior middleweight champion of the world.
Yeah, nice to see you all here. I'd like to thanks to Frank and Golden Boy and obviously Matthew for doing all the details behind the scene. I've been doing Frank's Heading since I won the title for the big fight. A lot of people probably thought I was just saying it for to raise my profile or something. This is a fight I've been asking for 12 months. Just one of the big names, the first one I come on the table. I jumped at the chance. This is it's not really a chance for me to upset them. I look at it like that. It's a chance for me to make a name in America for myself, and that's what I wanted to do. I could have done it different ways. I could have went less opposition and work my way up to a big fight and make a big name over there. Now I'm going to do it by beating the biggest name in boxing at the minute. Floyd Mayweather is retired. Canelo Alvarez is the biggest name in boxing. He's the biggest draw in boxing. So I'm looking forward to going back to work tomorrow with Joe and pit me wits against obviously one of the best in the sport at the minute. But a lot of people will be surprised. I think a lot of people are surprised already. When the fight got made, getting people saying, he's coming down from middleweight, size of him and stuff like that. I told you you'd all be surprised. I told you you're wrong. He boxed at 155. He's only natural 154 guy himself. And, I'm not by no means disrespecting him in that way. I just mean that's why he's back at 154, because he knows himself he's a 154 fighter. And size will play a factor in this fight, and I can't wait to put on the show September and finally make a name for myself out there.
Thanks, Liam. Okay, we'd like to again thank Oscar, everybody at Golden Boy. We'd like to thank Eddie, Chepo, Eric, and obviously the great man himself for coming over here. We really appreciate it, and for helping and allowing us to get this fight and making it happen so that we can show what our man's got, what he can bring to the table. And we're looking forward to it. It'll be a great night on the 17th. Buy your tickets, buy your pay-per-view, subscribe to BoxNation, because you're going to see something special on the night.
Thank you very much.